Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
1. Introduction. Imagine a country where people are breeding millions of mosquitoes. This sounds very strange, doesn't it? Most people want to kill mosquitoes, not make more of them. So why would a country do such a thing? This is a surprising story, and we will learn the interesting reason. Mosquitoes are small insects, but they can be very dangerous. They are one of the deadliest animals on Earth. This is because they can carry and spread serious diseases when they bite people. One very bad disease that mosquitoes spread is called dengue fever. Dengue fever makes people very sick. It can cause high fever, bad headaches, and pain in the body. In some cases, it can be very serious and even cause death. Millions of people get dengue fever every year in different parts of the world. Countries where this disease is common try hard to stop mosquitoes. Singapore is a country that has a problem with dengue fever. Many people there get sick from mosquito bites. Because of this, the government and scientists in Singapore want to find new ways to fight these dangerous insects. They have tried different methods before, but the problem is still there. Now they are doing something very different and surprising. They are intentionally breeding millions of mosquitoes. It seems like a crazy idea to fight mosquitoes by making more of them, but there is a clever scientific reason behind this plan. This chapter is just the start of understanding this unusual fight against a tiny, dangerous enemy. We will discover why Singapore is doing this and how it might help stop dengue fever. 2. A tiny enemy. The problem is small but very dangerous. It is the mosquito. Mosquitoes are tiny insects that can cause big trouble. They are known to carry sicknesses from one person to another. One of the most dangerous sicknesses they carry is called dengue fever. Dengue fever is a serious health problem. When a mosquito bites a person with dengue fever, it can get the virus. Then, if this mosquito bites another person, it can pass the virus to them. This can make the second person very sick. Dengue fever can cause high fever, bad headaches, pain in the body, and a rash. For some people, dengue fever is very dangerous. It can lead to severe problems and, sadly, sometimes even death. It affects many people around the world every year. There are many types of mosquitoes, but one type is especially important for spreading dengue fever. This mosquito is called the Aedes mosquito. It is this tiny enemy that causes most of the dengue problems. They like to live near people and lay their eggs in small amounts of water, even just a little bit in a pot or a bottle cap. In Singapore, this tiny enemy causes a big problem. Singapore is a country with many people living close together. The Aedes mosquito lives there too. Because of this, many people in Singapore get dengue fever every year. The sickness is a big worry for the people and the government. Last year alone, Singapore had many cases of dengue fever. The number was very high. More than 26,000 people got sick. This shows how serious the problem is in this country. The number of cases can change each year, but the threat is always there. Sometimes the problem gets even worse. For example, when there is a lot of rain, there are more places for Aedes mosquitoes to lay their eggs. This means more mosquitoes are born. Also, if people stay home more, like during a time when many people were sick around the world, it might be harder to clean up places outside where mosquitoes can live. These things can make the number of dengue cases go up. So, the main problem is this small Aedes mosquito. It carries the dengue virus and makes many people sick. It is a serious health threat that causes big problems for countries like Singapore. Fighting this tiny enemy is very important work. It is not easy to stop these mosquitoes from spreading the sickness. 3. The old ways. People have tried to stop mosquitoes for a very long time. They wanted to stop the biting and the diseases. Many different ways were used over the years to control them. One common way was using special chemicals. These chemicals are called pesticides. People sprayed these chemicals to kill mosquitoes. They sprayed them inside houses and outside. For a while, using pesticides helped a lot. They killed many mosquitoes and reduced the number of people getting sick from diseases like dengue. This method was used in many countries for many years, but over time a problem started. The mosquitoes began to change. They became stronger. The chemicals did not kill them as easily anymore. The mosquitoes developed a way to survive the pesticides. This is called resistance. It meant that the old chemicals were not working well. They could not control the mosquito population like before. This made fighting diseases harder. People also used other methods. They knew that mosquitoes need water to lay eggs, so they tried to remove places with standing water. This meant cleaning up gardens, removing old containers, and making sure water did not stay in pipes or drains. Removing these breeding sites helped reduce the number of new mosquitoes. Another traditional method was using natural enemies. Some small fish or insects eat mosquito larvae that live in water. Putting these animals in ponds or water tanks could help reduce mosquito numbers. These old ways were helpful. They did reduce the number of mosquitoes in some areas. But they were not enough to solve the big problem. It was very hard to find and remove every single place where mosquitoes could breed. Mosquitoes are very small and can lay eggs in tiny amounts of water. Also, the mosquitoes that survived the pesticides were very strong. The old methods could not stop the spread of diseases like dengue completely. The dangerous Aedes mosquitoes were still a big threat. People needed something new, a different way to fight this tiny but dangerous enemy. The old ways alone could not win the fight. They were important steps, but they were not the final answer. 4. A clever idea. After trying different ways to stop dangerous mosquitoes, scientists needed a very clever idea. The old methods, like using sprays or removing water, helped a little bit. But these methods were not enough to stop the many mosquitoes that spread serious diseases like dengue fever. Scientists knew they had to find a new kind of solution that worked better and for a longer time against this tiny enemy. They looked for a different approach, something that worked with nature itself. They found a very special type of bacteria. Bacteria are tiny living things, too small to see without special tools. This special bacteria has a scientific name. It is called Wolbachia. Scientists learned something very important about this Wolbachia bacteria. It can live inside many different kinds of insects without harming them. Normally, this Wolbachia bacteria does not live in the specific type of mosquito that spreads dengue fever. This dangerous mosquito is called the Aedes mosquito. But scientists found a way to put this special bacteria into these dangerous Aedes mosquitoes in a laboratory. When the Wolbachia bacteria lives inside these Aedes mosquitoes, it makes a big change inside the mosquito's body. This change stops the mosquito from carrying the viruses that cause diseases like dengue fever. The bacteria seems to prevent the virus from growing or living well inside the mosquito. So, a mosquito with Wolbachia cannot pick up the dengue virus, or if it does, it cannot pass it on to people when it bites. This is a very clever idea because it does not focus only on killing the mosquito. Instead, it makes the dangerous mosquito safe. A mosquito with Wolbachia can still fly and live its life, but it cannot make people sick with dengue fever. This is a different and new way to fight these dangerous diseases using biology. Scientists also learned that female mosquitoes that have the Wolbachia bacteria can give this bacteria to their baby mosquitoes when they lay eggs. When the baby mosquitoes grow up, they will also have the Wolbachia bacteria inside them. This helps the special bacteria spread naturally through the wild mosquito population over time. As more wild mosquitoes get the Wolbachia bacteria, fewer of them can carry and spread dengue fever. Many countries around the world have started using this general idea of using Wolbachia bacteria to control mosquitoes and the diseases they spread. It is seen as a promising new direction. This method, using Wolbachia bacteria, is a new step in the fight against diseases spread by mosquitoes. It is a biological method, using a natural thing, bacteria, to solve a big problem. It shows how new scientific ideas can offer hope against tiny enemies like disease-carrying mosquitoes. This clever approach is a step forward in protecting people from sickness like dengue fever. 5. Singapore's plan. Singapore had a special plan. They wanted to use the clever idea with the Wolbachia bacteria to fight dangerous mosquitoes. But Singapore decided to do something different. They chose to use only the male mosquitoes that had the Wolbachia bacteria. Scientists bred millions of these special male mosquitoes. These males were then released into different areas of the city. The special male mosquitoes fly around and look for wild female mosquitoes. Wild female mosquitoes are the ones that bite people and can carry diseases like dengue. When one of these special male mosquitoes finds a wild female mosquito, they mate. This is a natural thing for mosquitoes to do. However, because the male has the Wolbachia bacteria, something important happens. The eggs that the wild female lays after mating with a special male cannot become new mosquitoes. The eggs do not hatch. This is the key part of Singapore's plan. The special male mosquitoes do not bite people, so they do not spread disease. Their job is not to make the wild mosquitoes sick. Their job is to stop the wild mosquitoes from having babies. Think about it. If a wild female mosquito mates with a normal male mosquito, she will lay eggs, and these eggs will hatch into many new mosquitoes. But if she mates with a special male mosquito from Singapore's program, she still lays eggs, but those eggs will never hatch. No new mosquitoes come from that mating. Singapore releases millions of these special male mosquitoes regularly. These males search for wild females. When they find them and mate, it breaks the cycle of reproduction. Fewer and fewer new mosquitoes are born in the wild. Over time, As more special males mate with wild females, the number of wild mosquitoes in the area goes down. This is the goal, to reduce the population of the dangerous Aedes mosquitoes directly by stopping them from reproducing. It is a way to control the mosquito population using the mosquitoes themselves. This method is different from using only pesticides or removing water. It is also different from releasing both male and female mosquitoes with Wolbachia, which other places might do. Singapore's unique plan focuses on using only the males to make the wild population smaller. It is a big project that needs many special male mosquitoes released often to work well. 6. The mosquito factory. Singapore has a special kind of factory. It is not a factory for making cars or phones. It is a factory for making mosquitoes. This might sound strange, but it is a very important place for Singapore's plan. Inside this factory, scientists and workers have a big job. They breed millions of mosquitoes. These are the special male mosquitoes that are part of the project. The factory is designed to be a good place for mosquitoes to grow. The process starts with tiny mosquito eggs. Workers put these eggs in containers filled with water. The conditions inside the factory are carefully controlled. The temperature is kept warm and the water is clean. This helps the eggs hatch and the young mosquitoes to grow well. After the eggs hatch, small mosquito larvae live in the water. They eat special food that the workers give them. The larvae grow bigger over time. They change shape and become pupae. This is like a resting stage before they become adult mosquitoes. Finally, the adult mosquitoes come out of the water. They are now ready to fly. At this point, the factory has millions of adult mosquitoes. But remember, only the male mosquitoes are needed for the plan. So the next step is very important: sorting. Workers in the factory use special methods to separate the male mosquitoes from the female mosquitoes. This is a careful process because the mosquitoes are very small. They have ways to identify the males and put them into different containers. This sorting happens continuously, day after day. Once the male mosquitoes are sorted, they are prepared for release. They are put into special boxes or containers. These containers are then taken outside the factory to different parts of the city. Singapore is not a very big country, so it is possible to reach many areas. To release the mosquitoes, they use special machines. These machines help to send the male mosquitoes into the air over neighborhoods, parks, and other places where wild mosquitoes live. It is like using a special kind of gun to spread the mosquitoes. Millions of male mosquitoes are released regularly. The factory needs to work all the time to produce enough males. It can make tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of special mosquitoes every single day. This high number is necessary because the plan needs a constant supply of these male mosquitoes flying around the city. The mosquito factory is a key part of Singapore's fight against dengue fever. It is where the tools for their unique plan are made. It shows how science and careful work can be used to solve a big problem. 7. Does it work? After the special male mosquitoes were released into different parts of the city, people and scientists waited carefully to see what would happen next. Scientists had special ways to watch the areas where the mosquitoes were sent. They needed to know if their clever plan was really working the way they hoped it would. They carefully looked for the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. These are the specific kind of mosquitoes that are most known for carrying the dangerous dengue virus and spreading it to people. Scientists counted how many of these Aedes mosquitoes they found in the target areas over many weeks and months. They compared these new numbers to how many mosquitoes were living there before the special males were released from the factories. What they found was very good news for everyone fighting dengue. The number of these dangerous Aedes mosquitoes started to get smaller and smaller in the areas where the special males were released. It was a big and important change. In the places where the special male mosquitoes were released often and in large numbers, the population of Aedes mosquitoes dropped by a very large amount. In some of these specific areas, the number went down by as much as 90%. This was a huge and important drop in the population of the most dangerous mosquitoes. A big drop in the number of dangerous mosquitoes is very important. It means there is much less chance for the dengue virus to spread from mosquito to person. Because there were fewer mosquitoes carrying the virus, the number of people who got sick with dengue fever also became much lower in these areas. This was a very important and positive result of the program. This outcome showed that the idea of using special male mosquitoes to stop the wild female mosquitoes from having babies was effective. The project proved that this new way could help greatly in the fight against the problem of dengue fever in the city. It showed that releasing millions of these special male mosquitoes from the factories could make a big difference in protecting people's health. The results were clear and positive for the project. The creative plan to fight mosquitoes by making and releasing more mosquitoes was indeed working well. It was successfully helping to protect people from the serious disease that these mosquitoes carry. The number of dangerous mosquitoes was much lower, and because of this, the number of people getting sick was also lower. This was very good news for the people living in Singapore. The special factories were making a real difference. The special mosquitoes were doing their job well. People in these areas were becoming safer because of this new method. The fight against dengue was going much better where the program was active. This gave a lot of hope for the future of fighting diseases spread by insects. It showed that sometimes, new and different ideas can really help to solve big, old problems like diseases spread by insects. 8. The next steps. The plan worked well. The number of dangerous mosquitoes went down a lot in areas where the special mosquitoes were released. In some places, the reduction was very large, by more than 90%. This helped reduce cases of dengue fever. It was a big success and showed the new idea works. But the fight against mosquitoes is not finished. This method is very good, but it has some challenges and needs ongoing work for the future. One challenge is that the special mosquitoes need to keep being released regularly. They stop the wild mosquitoes from having babies when they mate, but the effect is not permanent. The special males live for only a short time. If the releases stop, the wild mosquito population will grow back over time. So the factory must continue making millions and millions of these mosquitoes every week. This is a big, continuous job that requires many people and resources to manage the factory and the releases. Another important point is that this method works best for one specific type of mosquito. This is the Aedes mosquito, which is the main carrier of dengue fever in Singapore. But there are many, many different types of mosquitoes in the world, perhaps 3,500 different types in total. This special method, using the Wolbachia bacteria in this specific way, might not work the same way for all of them. So there is still work to do to fight other types of mosquitoes and the diseases they might carry in different places around the world. Even with these challenges, the project in Singapore is a very important step forward in controlling mosquito populations and protecting people from disease. It shows that thinking differently and using new scientific ideas can help solve very hard problems that old methods could not fix completely. People used chemicals for a long time, but mosquitoes became resistant to them. This new idea, using biology and careful releases, found a creative solution that works well for the Aedes mosquito. The next steps involve keeping the program going strongly in the areas where it is needed. They need to continue breeding and releasing the special mosquitoes from the factory. They also need to watch the mosquito populations and dengue cases carefully to see the long-term effects and make sure the method is still working. Scientists can also study if this idea or similar ideas using Wolbachia can help with other types of mosquitoes or other insect problems in the future, in Singapore and in other countries. It is a good example of how science and new ideas can make the world a safer place for everyone. This project shows that even the biggest problems can be tackled with smart, new ideas and continuous effort. It gives hope for fighting diseases carried by insects.